Hi everyone, thanks for joining us today for our next installment of Maker Mania. This Maker Mania that we've got going on today is brought to us today by Susan from iFizz and the iWill projects. And today we're going to be talking about seed germination. There is a kit included in this particular program. The kit includes a do-it-yourself seed germinator viewer that you guys can make and put on your refrigerator. I wasn't able to get a course description for this until a bit late, so the kit isn't registration on the website. But if you're interested in picking up a kit to make your own seed germinator at home, I have, I think, about 17 of them left, and they're available first come, first serve at the Rawlings circulation desk. So please do stop by and pick up one. They're kind of intended for kids ages 1st through 6th grade. But if you have a little one you'd like to do the project with, or if you just happen to really like watching seeds grow, you're more than welcome to pick one up, as long as there's still a supply. So without any further ado, I'm going to get the video from Susan here started, and I hope that you guys all enjoy it. Here we go.
A 501c3 nonprofit based in Pueblo, Colorado. The iWill Projects is dedicated to innovative approaches that meet the essential needs of people and the natural world for food security, ample housing, education, the arts, and a healthy environment. Hi, I'm Susan, the education specialist for the iWill Projects. I work in the iFizz program, the Indoor Farming Innovation Zone. I write and teach STEM lessons all about aquaponics. Aquaponics is a method of growing plants and fish together in a closed system to produce healthy and nutritious food year-round. What is that tiny package that holds all the information for a whole new plant? Yes, you're right, it's the mighty seed. And specifically, we're going to talk about how seeds sprout, the process of germination. Seeds come in a wide variety of shapes, textures, color, and sizes. The diversity is amazing. In this lesson, we're going to learn about the parts of a seed, the different survival mechanisms of seeds, and create a handy way to watch a seed sprout. Most seeds just need moisture and warm temperatures for germination. When they're exposed to these two environmental factors, they begin to sprout. Different types of seeds have specific temperature requirements. Peas really rot in cold soil, but cauliflower likes constant moisture. Ornamental grasses and snowdrop flowers and forget-me-nots like a much more drier environment for them to sprout. You may have seed left over from previous garden season. If seeds were stored properly in a dry, cool spot out of the sunlight, most seeds will still sprout and grow after a couple of years in the packet. Many seeds also require proper light conditions to germinate. Some require a lot of sunlight, while others prefer a dark environment. Each packet that you get at the store is stamped with a date indicating the year in which the seeds were packaged for sale. Before the seeds were packaged, some in the batch were tested and met the required germination standards. The Pueblo City County Library District has got a bunch of seeds The All Pueblo Grows Seed Lending Library is housed at the Rawlings main branch. The mission and purpose of this cool program is to provide community outreach and education about the time-honored tradition of preserving seed and to lend seed to citizens to grow, then harvest the seed and return new seeds to be loaned to the next gardener. There are so many varieties of seeds that are native to southern Colorado. This project is a partnership of the Colorado Master Gardeners of Pueblo County, CSU Extension. Check it out and do some indoor growing this winter. The largest seed in the world, the coconut, of course. The coconut fruit is typically oval, 15 inches in length, 12 inches wide, and has a thick, fibrous husk. A husk is a seed coat. It surrounds the whole nut. I love coconut. The world's smallest seed? It's found in orchids. Certain orchids grow in the tropical rainforest, but did you know that every state in the U.S. has its own native orchid? Some orchid seeds are only 1/300th of an inch long, which cannot be seen by the human eye except with a magnifying lens or a microscope. Orchid seeds float or disperse into the air like tiny dust particles and come to rest in the upper canopy of rainforest trees where they eventually germinate. Germination can last from a couple of weeks to 15 years. That's wild. And then it might take 4 to 8 years for the orchid plant to actually bloom a blossom. Pink lady slipper seeds require threads of a soil fungus to break open the seed and attach them to it. The fungus will pass on food and nutrients since the orchid seed doesn't have any inside. Every seed on Earth has a baby plant inside. It's called the embryo, and it lives in a dormant state. Seeds survive for long periods of time because they can sleep when the conditions are pretty cold, protected by a sturdy seed coat, and they wait until the conditions are right. This is called stratification. Many seeds of northern plants need a certain amount of exposure to cold before they will actually germinate. Think about it. If a seed is dropped in the fall and hits some nice moist soil, would it be good for it to start growing right before the cold snow? Another way that seeds survive is by requiring chemical or physical changes to their seed coat to trigger germination. This damaging action is called scarification, like a scar on the outside of their seed coat. Birds help do this quite a bit by eating fruits and seeds in the wild, cracking them with their beaks, and dropping a bunch into moist soil. Once that seed has a little crack on its outer coat, water can soak in and the seed can germinate. Some species of evergreen trees, you see the pine cones in this slide, are the jack pine and the lodgepole pine. Their seeds are sealed inside their cones and won't be released until the physical damage caused by a wildfire. These cones are covered with a sticky resin that keeps them sealed up. But the heat from a fire will actually melt the resin, allowing the cones to pop open and release their seeds. Fires create good conditions for new growth. The cones pop open, the seeds fall or are blown out in the wind, and they take advantage of that carbon-rich soil. There is a way of tricking a seed into thinking that spring is here, and that is to just good old soak it in a warm cup of water. The water is absorbed through a tiny opening in the seed, and the embryo swells and enlarges, and the seed coat breaks open. So let's look at the two types of seeds. These are the basic ones that you'll find with fruits and vegetables. Most seeds are either monocots that have a single cotyledon or dicots that have two sides to them, or two cotyledons. Each seed has a seed coat that protects that little baby plant inside the embryo. The embryo consists of leaves, a stem, and the roots. Also inside is a food supply to nourish that sprout when it germinates. Corn, rice, wheat, onions, and even tulips are monocots. Pinto beans and peas, many flowers, tomatoes, apples, and peaches are dicots. We're going to be germinating a pea, which is the seed of the pea plant today. So here's a diagram showing the inside of a pea. It actually has a very soft seed coat on the outside. The science word for the seed coat is called a testa. You can see that here inside the pea is the embryo, the young shoot, the young stem, and the radicle, which is the name of a root. The soft, squishy part of the pea is actually the food supply for the baby plant. Here's a good diagram showing the germination of the pea seed if it was in soil. The root or radicle emerges first. Here it is. The shoot pushes up against the force of gravity. Seeds really know which way to go. The first kind of leaves that show up are the plumules. That's hard to say. Plumules. They carefully unfold, and then this primary root that's coming down here actually starts adding tiny fibrous roots to take up nutrients and water in the soil, tiny little hairs. The round pea that provided the proteins, carbohydrates, and fats is starting to get used up, and it shrinks up completely. Now the plant is producing foliage and leaves, and it can make its own food by the process of photosynthesis. But that's a whole nother STEM video. Time to make your own germinator. Let's do this. Let's get started on the assembly of your germinator. Wash your hands before handling materials to prevent contamination. Open your kit and take out the parts. The plastic tube is called a preform. I used heavy-duty glue to attach two button magnets so you can stick the tube on your fridge. The kit includes cotton balls, a bamboo skewer, and the peas. Carefully drain your soaked peas, putting the water into a small dish for later. There are 3 peas in case 1 or 2 are old, damaged, or they don't sprout. Here's a little engineering trivia. Also known as baby soda bottles, a preform is the first step to manufacture plastic bottles and jars. Plastic pellets of lots of different colors are melted onto a steel mold that shapes them into a plastic tube, the one that we're using to germinate our seed. Here's all of our parts to assemble into our germinator. Very lightly moisten 1 cotton ball on one side. Don't soak it. Put it in the tube without smashing it. Use a skewer to push it down close to the bottom. Next, take another cotton ball, slightly moisten it, and place 1 or 2 soaked peas on the moistened side of that cotton ball. Facing the peas opposite of the magnets, slide it into the tube so the pea is next to the side but not really smashed. Use the skewer to create a space for air to circulate in the tube. Finally, take the last cotton ball, slightly moisten it, mostly dry, and slide it into the tube with an air space. Push down the cotton ball Seeds need oxygen. Put your germinator on your fridge at a level where you can watch the sprouting process. There should not be water droplets on the inside of the tube. This may cause mold to grow. If you see mold, carefully remove the cotton balls and the little sprouting pea, wipe out the tube with tissue and a skewer, and replace the cotton ball with fresh ones from your own medicine cabinet. Here's my germinator with my pea seed. You can see that the root, or the radical, is pushing downward. This is only after 2 days of growth. Thanks for watching. I'm glad you could join me on this I Will Project STEM lesson. I hope you learned a lot more about seeds. Tune in next time when I demonstrate how you can germinate up to 50 seeds right in your own kitchen and create nutritious and delicious sprouts year-round. Take care. If you'd like more information about the I Will projects and the IFIS Indoor Farming Innovation Zone, find us on the web at www.iwillprojects.com.
Hi there again. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed our presentation from Susan from IFIS. Again, if you're interested in picking up a kit to make your own seed germination viewer, or the germinator, as she says, I'm not even going to try to do the accent. I'm not going to be able to do it. Please just come to the Rawlings library, stop at the desk and ask for one. We have quite a few left, so please do. We would love to have those picked up and sent on their way to other folks who are really interested in learning about seeds. Next week, we're going to have our favorite makers, Tim and Jeremy, back for a video on how to do stop motion animation with your own phone or video equipment that you have in your house. So please stay tuned again. Come back next week at 4 p.m. for that awesome video from them. Thanks, guys, for staying tuned. And as always, until I get to see you again in person, stay safe, stay healthy, and keep making. Have a great day, guys.